Hello, it's Friday afternoon and welcome along to the final day of Refreshers Week 2021. And what a week it's been.
That's right, Ross. We've had over 50 virtual activities and events from the union team, RG support services, and of course, our societies, sports clubs, student groups, and networks.
So let's start with you, Emmanuel. What's been your favourite event so far this week?
It's hard to pick, really. There's been quite, really a lot of good ones, really. Very informative, where you can get the right information, and lots of opportunities to have fun. Just like the last freshers we had, these refreshers have been packed with loads of different events and activities, and it's very hard to pick one. I'll be a little bit selfish here and celebrate myself for the master chef that I am. Sorry, Ewan. I think it's just that opportunity to make jollof and show as a cuisine in the Nigerian cuisine and share that experience with people, really. And all the different positive feedback that are coming through the different channels that we have, that makes it, I think, one of my favorite events. But all of the events so far have been really fantastic. What about you, Jordan?
See, Emmanuel, I was going to pick you up and say your event was my favourite, but you've done it for yourself, so it's a good job. I agree. It's been such an informative week, and it's really great to see all the student activities, clubs, groups, societies, networks, all the support services getting involved, and they've had some pretty good engagement across the week as well. But probably my favourite group of events, I would say, is Innovation. They're on top of it all. I know they have a virtual escape room this afternoon, so I'd get involved. But all their events are full of energy, full of life, and some quality content as well.
That's great. And of course, we can't forget that it's not quite done yet. We have some really exciting events coming up throughout the day.
At 1 p.m., we do have, we'll be joined by Veronica and Filippo Antonati from RGU to discuss RGU's response to COVID-19.
Yeah, and then RG Sport are back today. They've had content all week, but they're back today at 1:40 with a live class. So you've still got time to get your gym kit on and get active with them as well.
And at 5 p.m, you can join what will probably be one of Jordan's favourite events of the week, the RGU Innovation team, and will be hosting their virtual escape room, and they'll find out whether you can crack the clues to start up your own business.
At 6 p.m, however, our Computing Society will be hosting a Refreshers event.
Yeah, and if you're still looking for more, at 7 p.m, we're hosting Rebel Bingo, which I don't think any of us know what it's quite going to be about yet, but we're ready to go.
Yeah, we'll all be tuning in. So what a day of activities we've got right there.
Yeah, and that's just a few of our highlights, but you can find the full listing at rgunion.co.uk/refreshers.
Well, we'll be back in after this very short break for our live recording of the 10th episode of the RG Union podcast. Stay with us.
And just like that, we are back. Welcome to this live episode of the RGU Union podcast, hosted by your 3 student presidents. I'm Jordan Moore, President of Sport and Physical Activity.
I'm Ross Leven, Student President of Communication and Democracy.
And I'm Emmanuel Akure, the President for Education and Welfare.
Yeah, so in this episode, we'll be reflecting on Refreshers 2021, answering your questions and discussing all things life at RGU. We're going to try and get through it as best as possible. We are notorious for not even being able to make it through a scripted podcast, so let's see how this live one goes. But to start off, how is everyone? How are you guys doing?
You go on first.
No, I was just going to say good, thank you. It's been a long week and a long couple of weeks after the Christmas break, but yeah, it's good. It's been a great week of activities. It's been great to see all of the university's services put on their activities and also our events and all of our student activities as well. So yeah, doing good. What about you, Emmanuel?
I'm doing good. If you're wondering why I have a hat on, it's Friday, and Friday back home, we normally try to fly our traditional attire. So this is a Yoruba cup. It signifies the tribe that I am from, and I'm just representing as proudly as I can. But however, the whole week has been fantastic, loads of different events, and it's just interesting to see, not just, watch the events, but also be a part of it and see what goes on behind the scenes, all of the work that is being put in, and how how ideas are brought to life, really. It's just been really interesting, but I'm good generally. I managed to get some physical activity in there this morning, finally, Jordan.
How many startups did you do in the end?
I think I did 3 sets of 50, so that's about 150. I tried, and I think I clocked about 4,000 steps this morning, so not too bad.
Good effort. And if you're not already, get up and walk around and have a listen to us while you're taking in the wild scenes of wherever you are. But yeah, good week.
Good. So we've discussed how we are, but let's discuss what we always usually start off the podcast with. What have we all been up to recently? I'll come to you first, Jordan.
Yeah, so it's been a funny old few weeks back at work. Obviously, the recent announcement of a national lockdown has made things look a lot different across university, and particularly within sport and physical activity. All competition and activity has been pulled. RG Sport is currently closed at the moment, so we're not able to train and take part in activity as we used to, but there are plenty of things to get involved with. So we've been planning a lot of different things that our club leaders are going to find out about this afternoon, and then hopefully everyone else next week at some point, which is great. So planning lots of activity, making sure we're still engaging in physical activity and ensuring that, clubs feel supported in their efforts as well. They've been doing a great job across semester 1, and we want to make sure their momentum and efforts are recognised in semester 2 as well. So that's mainly what we've been doing, trying to move everything online and support members, making sure all of our democratic processes like forum can still take place despite kind of differences in the landscape. What about you, Emmanuel? What have you been up to?
Just like you, Jordan, like you rightly said, the recent announcements are just, made everyone to have to make like really swift decision and act really quickly. In my role, really, it's all about like trying to get the ball rolling in terms of, planning ahead of the semester. So, in the work with, different student groups, networks, school officers, equality champions, and the likes, we've been planning, how to deliver the rep training for semester 2, and that will be starting in the first week of February, really. And this is just to encourage anyone watching, take up the opportunity to get involved as a student rep. And there's a training available for you to get you to know how to function as a student rep. But also just training, really, meetings and touching base with all of the different groups of students that I work with. We've tried to set up a really strong welfare group where we have the equality champions, working creatively with, groups like Peer Support, Nightline, the different networks that we have, Black Liberation Network, and looking at how they manage or what they'll like to achieve in semester 2 and how they can deliver maybe their campaigns or whatever goals they want to achieve, especially in this new world or the new normal that everyone says. So that's pretty much it. But what have you been up to, Ross?
Yeah, so again, following the same theme, it's been a pretty busy few weeks back. Not how we expected. Obviously, we're all still working from home. But I think it's been great to see, and I think some of the main work we've been doing is around our student activities. You've both touched on it, but for me, that's with our societies and some of our student groups. So we've been meeting with some of them so far just to see how they're getting on, just touching base after the break to make sure everyone's doing okay, and just see what the plans are for this semester. Obviously, it's another semester where it's looking increasingly likely that we won't see any in-person activity or any in-person extracurricular activities, or at least in the same way that we usually would, having lots of people in a room together and doing these types of social events. So yeah, it's a very different semester again for our societies and student groups, but it's just been great to see how they've all come together. They continue to do that, and as Jordan says, we'll be sharing some exciting news this afternoon about some of the stuff we can do to support and what's coming up over the next few weeks. In addition to that, I've been doing quite a bit of work around our upcoming AGM. So working with Gregor and Jordan Creasy from our team around how that's going to look. Obviously, again, that will be fully online, fully virtual, which brings up certain challenges when it comes to things like voting and discussing motions and amendments and all these types of things. The thing that really makes the AGM worthwhile and having those discussions and seeing what different students' opinions are and how we can discuss these and see what the best outcome is. So we do some work around that. There's some great solutions that the team have come up with, and we'll look forward to sharing some more details about that as we get closer to that event, which I think is on the 18th of February. So not too long to go, and we'll be sharing some more details as we get closer and closer once motion submissions open and things like that. Last main thing I've been working on, I think, is accommodation generally for students. Both with the university, we had some great news just before the Christmas break, that I think was announced to students just after the break, around the RGU providing rent refunds to students from, I think now they've backdated it to the 4th of January, to allow for, that was when lockdown came in, and it'll be right up until either when in-person classes start or when students return to their accommodation, whichever one of those is first. So that's really good. They've also got a 7-day lease termination period for students, and flexible options for students arriving in accommodation in semester 2. But that's just for RGU accommodation. Obviously, the majority of our students live in either purpose-built student halls or in the private rental sector. So again, doing a lot of work with, we've been doing some work with Shelter Scotland, and then also looking at maybe starting a campaign alongside the National Union of Students, and we're going to be approaching some of the other institutions in Aberdeen, really about that, informing students of their rights, lobbying these PBSAs and the private rental sector, and also the government to give that support, where some in the PBSAs and private rental centre won't have the kind of ability to do so.
Fab. Can I just chip in there really quickly? Sorry, Jordan. That Ross, just to highlight as well the work that yourself and Jordan from the team have been doing around the Leave Right campaign. Massive thumbs up and well done to you guys for putting that together. It's important for students to be able to know their rights and know the information available to them while they are having to make serious decisions that has to do with where they're going to live or have shelter during their time at uni. But also to say, a big thumbs up and well done to RGU for making that decision. Really, this is why, things like this, decisions like this, just portray why we chose to come here, why we chose to be students of RGU, and why every RGU student continue to be proud. But it's not just that. There's also, efforts being made in the digital poverty area as well. There's now some devices available for you to book. There's a part of the website, the RGU website, where you can find out more information, and just please request if you are needing a device to use or needing some support in terms of that. You can also get in touch, via my email or via any of us really, and we'll try and be of support as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
That's great. Oh, on you go.
No, see, first mistake. We're in. We're done it now. We're okay now. Yeah, just to echo Manuel's point, although it does sound like we're busy, and we do try and get all information out there. Sometimes there are bits you might miss, and there's still questions that you might have. So please do feel free to contact any of us at any time. Our details are on the union website. We all across social media as well. So however you feel comfortable getting in touch, please do. We're here to support you. And if you have any questions about anything at all, just let us know, or any ideas or things that you think we should be doing. We're more than up for a challenge as well. So please get in touch and don't be afraid.
I was just going to say as well, I think it's worth pointing out how amazing the staff team that back us up are. We do talk about it every so often, but I think you've talked about it there, Emmanuel, the work of Jordan Creasy on this Live Right campaign, the work that all of the staff team do to support us. We get to do all the public side of it and sometimes take the credit and sometimes take the more negative feedback as well. But I think it is great to have those staff members there. We have a very small team at RGU Union, but we've just got a new member of the team this week, Josie, who's become our marketing manager. So it's great to see that team's increasing slightly, and of course continuing to support us and the vice presidents and all students at the university as we go forward.
Definitely.
So we've touched slightly on there some of the things that we've done in regard to the university, and how the university have reacted to COVID and supporting students. If you want to, we'll touch a little bit on that in the next few minutes, but if you want to find out more and hear from the university directly, you can join the three of us back here at 1 p.m. And we'll be joined by Filippo Antoniazzi, who's the Director of Student Life, and Veronica Strachan, who's the university's Assistant Chief Academic Officer. And they'll be discussing RGU's response to COVID-19 and what this semester might look like as we go forward. But first, I think we have slightly touched on our highlights from the week. I don't know if we maybe want to discuss some of the other events that have gone on this week. It's important to note that for a lot of our events, especially the unions and the RGU sport events, but from all of our support services, these are still available. You can head over to the union website and click the links, and you'll be able to see the recordings of all of these as well. But maybe, Jordan, you want to touch on some of the events that RGU Sport have put on this week that have been really successful and really great.
Yeah, for sure. So we probably at this point worth mentioning that the facility's not open at the moment, operating slightly differently, all online, but there's still full access to their classes and group exercise as well, alongside any kind of support they're offering too. So we started the week with a welcome to RG Sport, kind of tour around the facility, around the building, getting everyone excited for the return and reopening whenever that can happen in line with restrictions. So kind of what kind of facilities we have, the strength and conditioning room, different areas of the gym, and also meeting some of the staff there as well. Tuesday led into kind of the physical benefits of staying active at university. We all know there's lots of benefits. Emmanuel, you've been out for your daily exercise, so you can tell us all about the benefits and how you feel now. But RG did a piece on that, touching on the importance of staying active, and then also from a student's perspective as well. So our sport and physical activity team made a video of why they stay important, why it's important for them to stay physically active at university, kind of how they've transferred that into their course, and how that makes them feel kind of out with university as well, as a member of the public. And then flying through into Thursday onto the mental wellbeing benefits of exercise, very closely linked to the physical benefits. Just really trying to drum up engagement, making sure that people are aware the importance of physical activity, where we're spending a lot of time in our houses being told to stay at home. There are still opportunities to be active, which leads us on to Friday, which in about an hour and 20 or so minutes, we have a live class with RG Sport. Gillian is leading a body attack class, and I believe she has disco lights, so it's going to be a good one. Half an hour class, doesn't take long. You can literally do it where you're standing. You don't need a lot of space, just get involved as well. And it's all that we're saying that students still have access to free gym membership. So you can head over to the RG Sport website to sign up for that, and then get yourself in the RG Sport closed online exercise group, and you'll find all the Zoom codes you need for the foreseeable. But yeah, that's a whistle-stop tour around RG Sports content for this week. It's been great to see, and an extension as to what was offered in Fresh this week, and kind of really pushing those benefits of sport and physical activity during this time.
Yeah, that's been really... Oh, sorry. When you go.
No,
that's
okay.
good again. Interrupting each other again. Jordan and I do this a lot.
All the time.
We usually have Greg that goes through and helps edit those bits out, but no such luck today. I think I was just going to say that's all of the RG Sport activities throughout the week, but it's probably also worth mentioning the union's activities that we've had. So on Monday, Emmanuel led a session along with Jordan Creasy and our vice president, some of our vice presidents around... Nope, that's wrong. That was Tuesday, actually. On Monday, Jordan led a session with the two of us and the vice presidents to meet the exec, get to know what we all do and who we all are, and some of the advice that we had for you all. On Tuesday, Emmanuel led a session on union advice and support and was joined by Jordan Creasy and some of our vice presidents. On Wednesday, Jordan and I led a session around societies, sports clubs, student groups and networks. We're joined by Rory from RGU Sport and Ewan and Sian, our vice president of sports. So that was a really good session. We'll be able to discuss some of the support that the union gives and RGU Sport gives to our student activities, and how our student activities are coping at the moment. On Thursday, Emmanuel led a session on how the university supports international students and how the union assists with that. And then obviously today we had this live podcast. I think in addition, we've attended some events around partnership at RGU, which was on yesterday, which was a really good event. I think you attended that, Emmanuel, is that right?
Yeah, I did. I was accompanied on that by Irina Christina, who is one of our school officers for the School of Creative and Cultural Business, as well as Kirsty Campbell from the Delta team. Delta stands for Department for the Enhancement of Learning and Teaching Access, RGU. So I got to right this time. It was a really good session, and I'm sure people learned a lot about what partnership really means at RGU.
That's good. And then later on this afternoon, as we've already said, we'll be joined by Filippo and Veronica to discuss RGU's response to COVID-19 and how that's looking this semester. I think we might have mentioned it earlier, but if we didn't, you can ask us questions. You can comment in the chat, in the comments under the videos, and we'll do our best to answer any questions you have, whether it's questions about the university, about the union, or just general comments. Let us know, and we'll look to answer them as well as we can. Now, Emmanuel, do you want to talk about the fun bit of this week, our evening events that we've had on?
I've been itching for my turn to go and talk about the fun stuff, because we've been talking about all the serious stuff and all the getting really active, healthy body, healthy mind activities, which are really fantastic. Really. Before I go into the fun stuff, one of the other sessions, even though I led it, but I really did enjoy it, is because it was a very, very organic conversation, was the discussion around supporting international students and how partnership between the union and the immigration student advice team and work together to support students. It was really good. Loads of information on that. The video is still available. So if you're needing any form of information, if you're an international student, I recommend you to engage with that session and get the best out of it. But it's not just all the serious stuff. We've done so much, so many fun stuff. Starting at the beginning of the week, we had the legendary jollof rice cook-along by your world-renowned chef, Emmanuel Akerele. It was so fantastic in that session, making jollof rice, which Ross enjoyed really greatly. Jordan, she couldn't stop salivating and savoring the smell.
Do you know what I didn't enjoy, Emmanuel? I think you know what I'm going to say. Having to clean the pots and pans you used. I had to get those metal scrapers in to do it. The last time Aramark lent us any cooking equipment.
That's what partnership is about, you see. Somebody cooks, somebody cleans. That's what it's about there. No, oh my God, Ross, you got me. But it's been so much fun, really. We also had the live music acoustic session on Tuesday afternoon. It was in the evening, like early evening. But also we had I'm starting to lose my voice there, but we had a Netflix watch party, which we got really good reviews coming in so far. And then Rebel Bingo is tonight or this evening, which I honestly don't know what that is. I was hoping Jordan had an idea of what it is or Ross, but I don't think either of us have an idea of what that is really. So we're all just like you, fingers crossed and looking ahead to Ross.
It's Rebel Bingo. How would you not know what that is?
Yeah, Manuel, come on.
What is it?
It's Rebel Bingo.
What is Rebel Bingo?
Rebel Bingo.
Apparently it's high energy, high fun bingo, but I thought bingo was pretty high energy and high fun anyway. So
that is when Emmanuel's playing.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I think it's been a fantastic week so far. The union has put in a lot of work in delivering Refreshers 2021. Well, we've not done it all alone. It's not just us. It's not just the students, presidents, or vice presidents, or even just the staff in the union. But also we've worked in collaboration with the university, and gotten a lot of input from university services and support services, putting in some of their sessions in as well, very valuable sessions that will show you would have benefited from employability, inclusion, Jordan's favorite innovation team, IT, the library services, Rest Life, the student help point, and of course the legendary RGU Sports. So it's been a fantastic week so far. If you could, describe the whole week in one word, Ross and Jordan, what would you say?
On the spot, Emmanuel. That's not scripted, is it?
I'll let Jordan go first with that one.
Smart one.
Buy some more time. Talk more about your cook-along, Emmanuel. Let's buy some more time.
Well, while we have a little think about that, we are live, but we've still got our supporter Gregor Mailer helping us out, and he has sent a quick description of what Rebel Bingo actually is. So
that's quick work.
Yeah, so by taking part in Rebel Bingo, you will experience bingo like never before. Rebel Bingo takes complete unique twist on the concept of traditional bingo and throws DJs, stage performers, and a brilliant array of top prizes and novelty prizes into the mix. So it does seem quite exciting and fast-paced, and not like anything any of us all have taken part in before. Will you both be tuning in?
Of course, got to support the events.
Definitely, but also had prizes. So
yeah,
another good one.
Manuel, I don't think you can win the prizes.
Oh god. One word, guys. You're not escaping from this.
Okay, I've got my word.
Good farm.
I think motivating. I think it's quite hard to see everything being cancelled and pulled, and a lot of being told what you can't do, but realizing what we can do, and seeing students taking to that and really bringing it on board has been so motivating and inspiring, and has really driven us to kind of do our best, or certainly my best over the next few months. So motivating is my word of the week. Seeing everyone get so engaged, so involved, and enjoying as well. Enjoying in a funny old time. Thanks, Manuel.
I couldn't help myself, and I just saw Ross's face go when you gave your popular line.
Make a game out of that. How many times a week is that mentioned?
Every one of these sessions.
Every session, you got to get it in.
Ross, what's your word?
Oh well, I was reading there, so I wasn't actually thinking of them. I think let's go with exciting. I think it's been unique. It's been very different to how we'd usually expect a Refreshers week, but as you say, a huge amount of work has gone into planning this week. Obviously, everyone who's put on who've put on sessions from our support services and from the union team and all of our student activities. It's been great, and so much work has gone in there. But I think we also must mention the work that Delta and Student Life and the union team have done. So especially Greg from our team, and then Kirsty Campbell from Delta, along with her team over there, along with Rachel and the team, and then also Filippo from Student Life. I think it has been a real team effort, working in partnership, as we always say. And yeah, been a really good week, over 50 events, as we keep saying, and great for new and returning students as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and Emmanuel, you haven't escaped it. You have to give a word too.
I asked it. I thought I was going to escape. Okay, I'll go for the very, very basic one. Even though it's basic, I still think it's very correct. I think the week has been very informative. I was just thinking, if I was a new student coming into RGU newly, I literally have all the information I need on my fingertips, just by engaging in the Refreshers 2021. And that's what it's all about, having a refreshing moment or refreshing week full of loads of information, and as well as, it's like induction as well. So very informative. And I think that just complements the two words that you guys have used. Even though there's like so many words I can think that relates to the different words that Ross mentioned as well. You also added in collaboration, partnership, but those are all, they all just encapsulate what the week has been about. So, Ross?
Yeah, so I think that's how I think it's worth mentioning. We are coming to the end of Refreshers Week, but we're not going anywhere. the university support services aren't going anywhere, and there is so much support available for students. If you're needing anything, get in touch with the three of us, get in touch with some of our vice presidents. You've got your personal tutors, your course leaders, all of the academic staff who are doing amazing work at the moment as well, and who are all trying to work in quite difficult circumstances. A lot will be working from home, have their own families to take care of, and a lot will probably also be homeschooling. So both students and staff alike in those cases. So I think it has been really good to see how everybody's come together to support each other. But do reach out if you need any help. The links are at the bottom of the screen at the moment for the various different support services at the university and the union. They're all here. They're all working fully, obviously, in a virtual way, but they are all there and they're ready to support. Just reach out if you need it.
Definitely. And I think one thing to say is to any new students to RGU, welcome, hello. We hope you enjoy your term here, or your 2 terms, or however long you're here for. And to returning students, re-welcome, hello again. We hope you had a good semester 1 and you're ready for semester 2 and feeling motivated, inspired, and ready to go. Yeah, that's it. Welcome, hello.
Welcome, hello. I'm just repeating what you said there, Jordan. But really, it's been fantastic. It's been a really, really fantastic time engaging with every one of you, all the comments, all the feedback, all the questions in all the different sessions that I've been a part of, and you guys as well. But just to reiterate what Ross said earlier, I don't know if we've said it again, but if you do have any comments or any feedback about the Refreshers 2021, areas where we can improve, where we've done really well, or if you have any questions at all, we would really like to hear. And if you don't want to pop in the chat box, just underneath there, and you can get in touch through our social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And I don't know, I think it would be helpful if we mention our handles, just go around talking about it. Well, on Facebook, I'm Emmanuel Akerile, while on Instagram and Twitter, I am RGU_press EW. You can find me there. Ross?
Yes, so I am on Facebook, my name, Ross Leven, and then on Instagram and Twitter, it's at RGU_PresCD.
Yep, and similarly on Facebook, I am Jordan Moore, and then on Instagram and Twitter at RGU_press, SPA for SPA. But shameless promo there. Good job, Emmanuel.
Well, that's us, and thank you for tuning in to this live episode of the RGU Union podcast.
Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure to do it live, and hopefully you'll tune in or go back and have a listen to all of our podcasts on Apple and Spotify. They're all available, so anything we've recorded in the past and in the future as well.
If you'd like to get in touch with a member of the team, please email hello@rguunion.co.uk, or you can find the 3 of us, like we said, over Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search our names.
And we're going to try and do this all together, but we don't usually manage, so we'll give it a go. But thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was awful.
So bad.
Keep up to date with the latest news and activities from the University and the Students' Union by connecting with us across social media.
Find out about our latest projects and take part in competitions and challenges. Get in touch if you have any questions or queries about life at RGU.
You'll also find our team of student presidents and vice presidents on Instagram for regular campaign updates, photos and videos.
So log on, connect with us, and make sure you stay in touch with the RGU digital community.